So you have the full intelligence in the sensor. So that's incredible. They packed it in a small sensor type, and the sensor has a built-in ISP. So it pre-processes the captured images into an input tensor of the AI engine.
Welcome to a new episode of our inVISION podcast, 5 Questions To. Our topics are image processing, machine and embedded vision, AI and metrology. My name is Peter Ebert, Editor-in-Chief of inVISION, and I'm happy to have you here for a new episode. Hello and welcome to a new episode of our inVISION podcast, 5 Questions. Today we speak with Torsten Wiesinger, General Manager EMEA at Lucid Vision Labs. The company designs and manufactures innovative machine vision cameras and components and was founded in January 2017. It is headquartered in Richmond, Canada, with local offices in Germany, Japan, South Korea, China, and Taiwan. Hello, Torsten. Nice to have you here at our podcast.
Hi, Peter. Always a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks a lot. So, same on my side. Let's start with my first question.
Yes.
Lucid Vision focuses on GigE Vision cameras in the interface area. Why? And will you maybe also offer cameras with other interfaces in the near future?
Yeah, that's in the beginning it was a quite common question, but meanwhile, I think the strategy we started in 2017 worked out. So what happened? It was like, you can imagine in 2017 we started the company Lucid, and we've been just a small team, and we had nothing, just our brains and hands, and to start from the scratch. So you need to focus, and then of course we talked about the strategy, which market we wanted to attack. And for us, it was clear in the beginning that we just focus on the factory automation market. And by experience, and of course, reading some market analysis, and then we saw that Ethernet was and still is the dominant interface in the market. And so that's why we said, okay, let's focus on that, because we couldn't do everything. And over the years now, answering your question, will something happen in the future? Of course, you never know, but we ask us every year, should we go for another interface? Is there something interesting new? And we see always that there's still a lot of potential and there's still a lot of things to do with Ethernet technology, and doing something else that I think would distract a little bit our development speed. And so we're still focusing on Ethernet. So I hope that makes sense. But meanwhile, people accept it and no one is asking us, oh, why don't you have USB or something else? So it's clear that we are focusing on this and we want to be the specialist and innovative company in that area.
Okay, talking about GigE Vision, the big topic at the moment is RDMA. What do you think about that topic, and do you have any products concerning this?
Yes, of course. So as you may know,
maybe
we started with RDMA quite early. So before the standard was defined, the new GigE Vision and GenICam standard 3.0, we launched already with our Atlas camera, the first RDMA camera. And cooperated then also with Broadcom on the network card side. So I had I think it's now almost 2 years. Time is running so fast, I forgot. So I think it was 1.5 or 2 years ago, we launched the first Atlas camera with RDMA technology. And then we've been, of course, part of the community defining the standard, and also the newest family now, the Triton 10, is based 100% on this technology, on RDMA, and is 100% compatible. And we are ready as soon as the standard is launched. We are there. Of course, you can use it already. You don't need to wait for the standardization committee to launch it officially. Yeah, and additionally, I think that's also quite interesting. So I never thought that I will start selling own cards again. So coming in the very early days from Frame Grabber. And I don't want to name it Frame Grabber. Don't get me wrong. It's not a Frame Grabber. It's just our own network card with the RDMA technology on it. And we developed it by ourselves. We produce it by ourselves. And the reason for that is quite easy, because we realized, so if you have these really super high-end robots and a lot of disturbing stuff around, sometimes the network card is doing strange stuff, right? So when we did on our development, each PoE you can turn off and on. Also using it for saving some power, so do the power management. And also each port is isolated, so that was also some critical part in the standard network card you have outside. So we thought, let's build our own one, develop our own one. And of course, it's much easier to keep here the long-term availability and do the support for the card, because that's a general problem if you buy a network card from the IT market. They get announced and discontinued in a very short time. And that was one of the reasons.
You mentioned the network card. You also mentioned the Triton 10. What are the latest innovation in your camera portfolio? What's new?
Super new is actually, let's talk first about something the last 6 months, what we launched. So we launched a lot, talking about the event-based camera on our Triton 2.5 GigE. We had now several Phoenix camera modules. So this is one of our first family we produced and still alive and still we're expanding. Still there's a big demand from our customers having this easy customizable camera, very flexible for your own projects. So if you don't have space or you need another form factor, it's our easy transformable camera. And so we launched with several new extended heads, with dual head. Soon we will have the quad head. And we will also soon launch our 25 GigE camera. And the latest product, I think, was the Triton Smart we announced on the market, with the Sony IMX501.
Maybe you could tell us a little bit more about the IMX501, because it's, of course, another Sony sensor. What makes this sensor so special? And what makes the camera different from comparable products?
Yeah, it's as I sometimes always say a little bit, ironically, it's still all about images and machine vision, right? But as you know, in the beginning, the intelligence was on the PC, then it moved somewhere into a camera based on a DSP, FPGA, or something else. And now the intelligence is moving directly into the sensor. So you have to imagine...
In the image sensor.
In the sensor, right, in the image sensor. So you have the full intelligence in the sensor. So that's incredible. So they packed it in a small sensor type, and the sensor has a built-in ISP. So it pre-processes the captured images and into an input tensor of the AI engine. So it's incredible. And our job is just to provide a secondary ISP in the camera FPGA. And this one performs conventional image processing like a standard machine vision camera, right? So internally it's calculated. So you train your objects on a PC, and then you upload the network just into the sensor over the camera, of course, but directly into the sensor. And the sensor's calculating. And we just do showing the image on the PC, showing the results and everything, and that's all, right? So it's quite unique, I guess, actually, in the market.
Yes, I think also it's very, very interesting. All the people who hear this podcast should have a look at the Triton Smart.
Yeah, be also aware it's a quite cost-effective solution. So you buy the software for your PC to do the training from Sony. It's the Neurala software brain builder. You do your training. So you can, for example, anomaly detection, you can do that. And do this once on your PC, and when you're ready, you just upload the network, and you don't have to pay any runtime license. So you just pay the camera price, and this is below $500 the camera itself, and so it's quite cost effective and ready with IP67, very small M12. So for the factory tough environments, perfect.
Triton Smart with the Sony IMX501.
Correct.
Maybe let's switch the topic. Another important criterion when choosing a camera is the software or the SDK. What does Lucid Vision offer its customers in this regard? What's special?
Again, I have to mention it's 100% as we started from the scratch at Lucid. So we proclaim that our software is 100% GenieCam and GigE Vision compatible. Because when we started, we followed 100% the path. We don't have the historical stuff to wear with us and to put it in, which makes sometimes things incompatible. And so that's I think one differentiator what we have. Of course, we support the standard operating systems like Windows and Linux, but we also support ARM, all kind of ARM environments. And key languages are like C, C#, C++, .NET, Python. And also new stuff like ROS with the third-party interfaces is supported. Then I think also one big differentiator we have this viewer software, which we soon will have also on Linux. Some customers are waiting for a while for it. I'm sorry, but it's coming. It's on the way so that we have a viewer for Windows and Linux. And we integrated the software Jupyter Lab notebooks, so which makes it easier for developers to testing and integrating. So there are tons of examples in this Jupyter Lab. I think it's more than 400. Also some nice stuff where you can try out, put in the camera, like for example, Triton, and then do a barcode reading or something. So nice features we integrated there. I think this is one of the key features. So what we have, and also the cameras we have on Linux OS directly on each camera has a Linux OS where you can also do the firmware upgrade from remote and can get access onto the camera.
Besides area scan cameras, you also have 3D cameras. What's new there?
Actually, we are working on several stuff. What we launched, so the demand was, our Helios 2, and we expanded the family now over the years. So from the 2 Plus, the Helios Ray, the Helios Narrow, the Helios Wide. The Narrow, I think, is the latest one. And this was driven mostly by customer demand because they wanted to have different field of views of the camera. So that was the biggest task we had in development. Now we are preparing for the Helios Wide as a first, that we have a pre-calibrated version. We just unpack and then have the camera, the RGB camera on top, and then get everything pre-calibrated so that you don't have to take efforts into programming all the stuff and calibrate it together. So it will be done out of factory. So that's new. And then, of course, a lot of things will happen in the future. I cannot talk about everything. The vision next year is coming fast. The year is almost over.
So be prepared and read inVISION. I'm quite sure we will have the story first.
Yes, I guess so. I'm sure. Yeah.
Torsten, just a last question. Currently, the sales forecasts for the European machine vision industry are not exactly exciting. How are things looking at Lucid Vision?
Yeah, it's not too bad. As we started now, I think it's now 8 years ago. Actually, we have only the chance to grow, right? So still, of course, we see the risks in the market. But over the last 8 years, we achieved it to grow every year. So also this year, I think we will have a double-digit growth. So the things are running very well. I cannot complain too much. Of course, I always have to complain, but yeah, no, it's good. It's developing. We're actually, I think, more than 100 people. We keep hiring our European team. We moved our office also, the bigger one.
The European or the Canadian?
The European, but also the Canadian is just actually moving. So we bought a new, bigger building and planning for future projects so that we can expand our production faster and easier. Yeah, the next building we are just moving is not in Richmond anymore. It will be, or is in Burnaby, but it's still the greater Vancouver area. So I think it will have space for, I think, around about 300 people. So it's much bigger, so we can almost triple our staff.
Great news.
It's not too bad, right? The Swabian always says not too bad.
Torsten, it was once again a great pleasure to talk with you. Thanks for being guest in our podcast.
Thank you, Peter.
See you. Bye.
See you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you.
If you would like to find out more about inVISION, please register for our inVISION newsletter at invision-news.de/news, become a follower of our LinkedIn channel, inVISION News, or find out about our webinars at invision-news.com/Tech Talks. I look forward to welcoming you to our next episode of our inVISION podcast, 5 Questions 2.